minute or two here. And then we'll start talking. Trains going by. It does have a weird echo, don't it? Poor dog. Bring your dog out here in the rain to walk around.
I'm sure the dog's fine with it.
Are you going to make it?
No, I'm going to die right here.
Can I split your gear? Can I have all your gear?
Yeah.
I'll take off the paint. All the trains decide to go off at the same time here. Okay. Giving people some time here to jump on. If not, we're going to start recording, talking. How can those be warm? They're just plain like mechanics gloves, aren't they?
They're another layer.
I wonder if he's getting tired of hanging up there. If you guys are wondering what we're talking about, there's like a raccoon like up there in the rafters above us in this pavilion. All right, I guess we'll start this show. So, all right, hello everyone. This is Chad Redding here, and this is kind of the little announcement thing. We are in a local park here in South Central Pennsylvania. If you hear people talking, that's because they're walking their dogs and so on and so forth. We are hanging out with a raccoon. He is actually in the rafters above us. We were setting up to record, and Tim was like, "There's a raccoon there," and I'm like, "No, there isn't." And then I looked, I'm like, "Oh my God!" And it was actually above my head.
You're almost wearing him as a hat.
Yes. What that have made me? What was that? Davy Crockett?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been Davy Crockett. So the experienced outwoodsman did not see the trash panda above him. So, but to be fair, I'm not in the woods. I wasn't looking up. So anyhow, we're here to kind of do a little bit of celebration. We did live on Monday to announce what's going on, but we figured we would just let you guys know too. We just kind of would get together and do this, even though the conditions are just really crappy. The reason we're in a pavilion and not in the woods is because it is raining.
Yeah.
It's cold. It's probably what, 40, something like that?
Yeah, but it's raw. That's the thing.
It's raw,
like,
yeah.
It's not that cold, but just with the rain and the dampness, and it's just raw.
So we were on Instagram, and now we're on YouTube here. And we were just in Audeburg, probably about an hour ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, doing the thing for Strange Familiars. So if you are a Patreon of Strange Familiars, you can absolutely see, you'll know what the Big Phillip or the Auto project, Big Phillip project, is that what it's called?
Big Phillip experiment.
The Big Phillip experiment, sorry. So we were checking that out. Hello, Tekastali 9632. Never and nothing says we're twins. I don't know. I've been hanging around with this guy long enough. I guess he's starting to become the brother that I never knew. But anyhow, what? Like I said, what we're here. And by the way, if he mentions a raccoon, I will show you guys the raccoon that is up in the rafters.
I wasn't going to mention it this time.
I know.
I'll keep quiet about this.
I figure I'll let people know. So anyhow, what's going on is there is my podcast, the Ruck Rabbit Outdoors podcast, is actually dropping at midnight tonight or Monday morning, however you tell time.
However you want to look at it.
And
Eastern
time. Eastern time. Thank you. And for those, if you haven't noticed, there's a new logo. So we have a new logo, thanks to this gentleman right here. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Happy to do it.
If you like the way the logo looks, check out Timothy Renner's art on Etsy. He does fantastic artwork. What was the comic book you did the cover for with Bigfoot?
High Strangeness Comics issue number 2.
And that's a cool looking piece of artwork. So
I have copies of that. I also did Department of Truth number 15. Did the cover, a special cover for that for Riverbend Comics.
was that a Mothman?
Mothman, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
so-
Have you ever done a raccoon? Have you ever drawn a raccoon?
I'm sure I must have at some point, but I can't. I draw every day. So.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. So, anyways, we're dropping 2 episodes Monday at midnight. You can get them anywhere on Spotify, any catcher,
Any podcatcher.
that you have.
Yeah.
We will also be putting them on YouTube. Okay, so I will have it on YouTube. There will be, you'll see them in the regular videos, but I'm going to make a specific playlist for
the podcast.
the podcasts. So you will see that. That will all hit at midnight. Okay, the timers are set. It's just ticking away.
Now, the first episode and the first episode only, if you subscribe to the Strange Familiars podcast feed, you will get that on the podcast feed, but you will not get it on YouTube. It's not going to be on the Strange Familiars YouTube channel.
Yeah, only on the Ruck Rabbit Outdoors YouTube channel.
Right. So, but if you get, on your podcast feed, you'll get the first episode only. We call it a feed drop, where you sort of announce a new podcast on an existing podcast kind of thing. And happy to do that. But then you make sure to follow, if you do get your podcast through regular podcatcher, iTunes, Stitcher, wherever, make sure to follow Ruck Rabbit Outdoors then.
Yes.
Because you'll want to subscribe to him.
You want to catch that. So this is very much kind of a sister podcast to Strange Familiars. It is not a paranormal podcast, okay? It is a outdoors podcast. And when we say outdoors, we mean that of the
very broad sense.
Very broad sense. I mean, anything outdoors will be on there. We are going to be talking to many different people who enjoy the outdoors in many different ways. You will be surprised at what we are going to show you. We've actually been, I've been surprised myself, and you have too, right?
Oh yeah.
We are going to talk to some big. So, yes, I am known for bushcraft, survival, all that stuff. But this is not just a bushcraft and survival podcast. This is the outdoors in general. Okay? So we are going to talk to some big names in many different fields. But the main focus of the podcast is to talk to the common outdoors person. Okay? And their stories, we want this. It's very much about people's stories.
Yeah, and I think that's, my opinion, obviously. That's what I do.
Yeah, it's my opinion, your opinion.
That's what I do in Strange Familiars, but to me, that's the way. The story is the heart of the podcast, right?
Yes.
So if you have a good story. And everybody has a story. I truly believe that. I truly believe everybody has. It might not be a paranormal story, it might not be this, might not be that, but everybody has a story.
Yeah, everybody's lives is a story.
Yeah.
And that's the goal, is to capture these stories of these outdoors people. And also that, not just that, but also the fact that we're going to be eliminating labels here, okay? We always have the, I'm a hunter, I'm a fisherman, I'm a bushcrafter, all that stuff. That's great. But we're trying to show that anybody can be an outdoors person. Anybody who, even if you live in the middle of the city and all you can do is go to Central Park and walk around in the trees, you're still in the outdoors.
Right. So somebody's health might only allow them to take short hikes.
Exactly.
That might be all they can do.
Exactly.
And they're still an outdoors person.
So that's the goal. That is the message we're putting out there. We are also going to touch on the history of the outdoors, and I forgot to say that on Instagram. But we're going to be doing some series on the history of the outdoors. So there's some really cool stories from outdoors people. If you hear cars pull in and go back and forth, like I said, we are in a park. So there are people, even in this sloppy mess, that are out and about. Anyhow, we're going to be covering the history, kind because there are some really cool historical figures in the outdoors. We're also going to be doing some gear. So that's not heavily what we're going to be, but we are going to cover the history of some gear. I don't know if we're going to do axes, but that's what we're going to do. And I guess we'll get into some folklore too.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to some of the shows we do that are going to be the history of specific places, in the outdoors and stuff.
And that's part of the history in general.
Yeah, and like we have some cool ideas for that. How that should be fun stuff. So, mainly interviews, but we're going to sprinkle in other stuff too.
Yeah. So very well rounded, very big tent. We're trying to get as many people as under this tent and show many different things, and also, if I haven't mentioned before, it might have been, but different ways to enjoy the outdoors. We interviewed a gentleman who does long distance bicycle touring, and he actually camps outdoors, carries his gear on his bicycle, and that was cool. I didn't even know that existed. We got some really cool stories from him. One was hilarious.
He loves raccoons.
Yeah, he loves raccoons too. It actually involves raccoons. Right. So yeah, we are, it's definitely what we're trying to do is touch a lot of bases. And if you have any outdoor stories, okay, contact me, okay? Contact me right now through Instagram and Facebook, or you can message me here on YouTube, because I think I have received some messages on YouTube. We are going to have a website going forward eventually. I'm in the middle of building it. So once that's built, I'll put it out there. I think we're also going to probably establish a community here on YouTube. So we're going to be expanding things greatly here. It's going to be, everything's blowing up. We're definitely expanding out. Right now, the podcast is only going to be monthly. Now, you are getting 2 episodes tonight at midnight,
month,
but after that, it's going to be one every second Monday of the month. I had to say that slow because it is a little bit of a tongue twister. If this takes off, if we start getting a lot of people and I have more time, because the more I do this, the easier it gets. We are actually going to maybe go bi-monthly. I don't think I'll ever be weekly yet. We'll have to wait and see.
Bi-weekly. Bi-monthly means every other month.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Bi-weekly.
Yeah, twice a month. Bi-weekly.
Tim corrects me. That's why I keep him around.
I just wanted people to understand.
Yeah,
you're going to be doing more, not less.
So right now it's once a month. If it kicks off, it will be twice a month.
Yeah.
Okay. And then if we can, maybe I'll do it weekly. We don't have a Patreon established yet. That's something I'm working on. I want to see if I want to make sure that if I am going to establish a Patreon, that you guys get the maximum value for what you contribute to that. It might not even happen, okay? But as of right now, it's once a month, and you're going to see this guy a lot. This is my co-host, Timothy Renner of Strange Familiars.
I apologize for that.
Yes. And obviously I'm his co-host on Strange Familiars. So if you like Strange Familiars, you will probably like this, because it's very similar. Okay, they're sister podcasts. They all kind of intermingle and interconnect really well. Okay, I'm going to take some questions really, really quick. So if you guys have some questions, because it is getting cold. So, Colin B8C says, I love the outdoors, and how are we? We're fine.
Yeah, it's good.
A little cold, but we are fine. Everything's doing great. Another gentleman here, Matt McCarthy, 5996. I hope there will be an episode on odd camo pattern clothing options.
The yellow camo.
The yellow camo. Okay. Yeah, maybe. Like I said, we're going to cover some gear, but not, if I say gear, it's mostly going to be the history, okay? So if we do a camo pattern, we might do the history of that camo pattern. I'm wearing M81 woodland camo, or as some people call it, God's plaid. We might do the history on this particular plaid, because there's some interesting things about how the the camo is developed and so on and so forth. But, you know, like I said, we'll do some gear, but it's not going to be super gear heavy because personally, okay, this is me personally, I listen to a lot of bushcraft outdoors podcasts, and sometimes it's always like, here's an axe, this is the company, this is the pattern, I use it for this, it's great, it's awesome. And after a while, and that kind of makes me personally glaze over, okay? Some people love that, and we're going to do a little bit of that, but that's not what we're focusing on, okay? So you'll get some gear, you know, options for when we go out on strange familiars investigations, stuff like that. You know, maybe.
I think we're going to do a walking stick episode.
Yes, which that one actually, the walking stick episode kind of ties into our second episode. So yeah, that's a good one. You know, stuff like that. So that's what we're planning on doing. So, any more questions from you guys? We'll sit here for a minute and we'll take another question. So, I'm going to ask Tim one. Have you retired the yellow camo pants?
No.
No.
No, they wear a little heavier in the winter usually.
Yeah.
So, but no, the yellow camo pants are still there. They became so famous that people started buying me yellow camo shirts and yellow camo bandanas and yellow camo. I would not wear them all together. That was never the goal.
I would love for you to do that. That would be awesome. Was that my fault or was that Allison's fault?
I think Allison started it. Maybe you continue. I don't know. It became a thing. You know, so look, I don't want to be the yellow camo guy necessarily. I happen to like a pair of yellow camo pants.
Yeah, that's an old joke from Strange Familiars for those who don't know. So.
But no, they're still around. They're comfortable pants.
Yeah,
I'll wear them.
We'll show them every once in a while. So just so you know, you can watch this podcast in video form. And like I said, it's going to be here on YouTube in video form. And you can also listen to it in audio form on all your favorite catchers.
I put these gloves on one time.
With the yellow pants?
With the yellow pants. And someone said, oh, cool. Your gloves match your pants. This is someone who's very fashion conscious. I was like, no, they happen to match my pants. This is not. I'm not going for a look. I don't have outfits.
So, all right, we're gonna give you a reason for that. Okay, the reason Tim wears the camo yellow pants is because even back in the day, people just wore what worked in the woods. You didn't care what it looked like a lot of times. You know, only now have everybody been like, oh, my puffy coat has to match my pants and all that stuff. The old woodsmen would use whatever they had on hand, usually old clothing, to go out in the woods because you didn't want to wear your best to be messed up. Nessmuck even says, you know, wear an old suit, you know, an old wool suit. So, and when I say old wool suit, you're talking like actually like a blazer type coat, you know, like a suit. And, you know, woodsmen now, you know, bushcrafters are now, you would never catch a bushcrafter wearing a suit coat in the woods, you know, but that's what they did, you know, before you had specific equipment, you know, for hunting and fishing and all that, and camo and all that, you know, you just wore old clothing, you wore an old wool coat that kept you warm. You didn't mind getting deer blood on when you went out hunting. And, you know, that's what people did. It wasn't this such gear specific, you know. The knife you had was literally probably one you pulled out of the kitchen. It was the butcher knife. That was the knife you had. The axe was, you would, on your way out, you would grab the axe off the wood pile. So you used the same tools and clothing and gear that you used at home. Mm-hmm. That's how it was. So, all right. I'm going to go. You're going to go.
You want to show them
I'm going to show you guys.
Start of the show.
I'm going to show you guys the raccoon, and then we're going to head out here. So let's show you the raccoon.
The start of the show.
The start of the show. If he doesn't jump off onto my face, he looks.
Give him a wide berth.
Yeah, I'm going to give him very much a wide berth. So I'm going to switch the camera here. And then I'm going to focus in on this guy. You can probably already see him now. And there he is, hanging up in the rafters. So with that, we're going to let you guys go. I look forward to everybody's reactions when they hear the show. So please give me some feedback. That would be fantastic. You know, this will be something that will be evolving, correct?
Yeah.
As it goes. So, and yes, there still will be videos on YouTube. So, Mark Buchamp said hi. Hello, Mark. So,
he's starting to stir.
yeah, he is. We're going to go because the raccoon wants to go, and we don't want to get attacked, and we don't want to upset him. So, till next time, guys, fair weather and safe journeys.
I think he's getting tired of being up there.